Okay, so I'm going to look into the Somerset Leveller magazine. This is a monthly magazine which gets distributed throughout Somerset. It's a free magazine. It's a lovely magazine in general, but the Somerset Leveller did a rather unpleasant two-page article on the Light newspaper. And so it decided to do a smear campaign against the Light newspaper. So let's explore the contents of this two-page spread. This is an article by an editor called Paul Jones on pages 18 to 19 of the Light newspaper. Okay, so the headline of Paul Jones's article is "Don't look into the light." Oh, don't look into the light. Basically, it's a double meaning, of course. It does mean don't look into the Light newspaper. However, to me, this seems like a very dark headline. It suggests to me, don't look into the light, look towards the darkness. I mean, what kind of message is that to give out to people? Look towards the darkness? I don't think it just means don't look into the Light newspaper. Personally, I think there's a lot more behind it. And I think that's a very unpleasant way to start an article, personally. Okay, so the subheadline is Glastonbury has joined a campaign focused on countering disinformation, presented in the controversial newspaper, The Light. Paul Jones delved inside the front cover. So, do you notice the word disinformation again? I mean, how many times do you get the word disinformation being used in 2024? So one person will say something's disinformation, another person will say it's information. To me, it sounds like he's quoting BBC disinformation reporter Mariana Spring here. Is she involved in this? Who knows? Right, so go inside the article. And it talks about very, very dark conspiracies in the Light newspaper. It says here, far from being the Light, this publication leads readers into some very, very dark corners of conspiracy that you would expect to find confined to the most remote corners of the internet. Ooh, scary. And you notice it's got very, very dark conspiracies. Not just very dark, but very, very dark. Ooh, don't read any further, guys, because you might get scared. Look at this little bit here. It's all there in the Light, brackets. Reading any edition of the Light is like playing a game of conspiracy theory bingo. Conspiracy theory bingo? Can anyone tell me exactly what that is? Sounds like fun, actually. COVID jabs make you sick. 66. WEF's den. Number 10. I've never been good at gambling myself, but I was a bit partial at the old tombola. Maybe didn't win much. Probably won a bottle of non-alcoholic wine, which is about as useful as a chocolate teapot.
Did he do well? Did he do so very, very? Did he do so very well?
Right, this bit here says, no one in Stroud or Glastonbury wants to cancel anything. It goes against our instincts. Ooh, aren't you virtuous? Our core belief system. But this is different. Okay, so the Light is different. So you do want to cancel the Light, but you don't want to cancel anything because you're so virtuous and you believe that everybody should have a right to free speech because you're Glastonbury, and Glastonbury loves all things encompassing and open and diverse, but not the Light, brackets. So, yeah, you're a bit hypocrites really, aren't you? You wouldn't even bother writing this article if you didn't want to cancel it, let's be honest. Ooh, it's getting dark now. This is getting nasty. The Light has become an organ of outright denial. Denial of provable facts of science and, ironically, the truth. Ooh, so trusting the science has got us where we are today. Bear in mind there's countless people all over the country who have been, quote-unquote, trusting the science. And look what mess they've got into now with their physical health and their mental health. Anyway, let's continue. It has become nothing more than a conspiracy propaganda, which could have real-life consequences for those who believe what it says.
24 hours, 323 deaths have been recorded. That's people who died within 28 days of a positive COVID test. That's people who died within 28 days of a positive COVID test.
So what about all the papers that have been telling us so-called facts for the past 4 years? We've had enough of it, basically. People want an alternative view. Okay, so this bit is about a lady called Councillor Don Francesco, who's the mayor of Glastonbury. Apparently, Councillor Don Francesco attended a meeting recently to discuss the encroaching fascism, the dangers of disinformation, and right-wing conspiracies. So basically, she says that they want to create a safe space for engaging, enlightening, and compassionate inquiry. I don't think that's happening really. I think there's a lot of cancel culture going on, especially with newspapers like The Light. There's nothing enlightening or compassionate about it. If you think one thing is compassionate enlightening because it suits your narrative and one other thing isn't, then that's not really compassionate and enlightening, is it? So the article describes phrases like the far right and fascists, and links it to the Light newspaper. Personally, I am not a fascist or far right. I'm promoting love and freedom. I've been doing that for 4 years now, tirelessly. All of us doing this on the streets for different reasons are doing this tirelessly in our own time, and we're not getting paid for it. Okay, promoting love and freedom is not far right or fascist. I'm not political. I gave up on politics 2 or 3 years ago, and I used to be a Green Party supporter. So I spent most of my life supporting the Green Party, which is actually more left. And if anything, I've spent most of my life being more far left than far right. So let's get our facts straight here, yeah? Right, so I'm not going to go into the whole article because it's very long-winded, and you can find it all online or in your local stores. A lot of shops in Somerset, lots of public places, cafes, have got free copies of The Leveller. Please don't get me wrong, The Leveller is a lovely, lovely magazine. It's got lots of nice articles in it. It's got articles on different events going on in Somerset, things that are going up for sale, all different public notices. It's a really nice magazine. I'm not here to discredit The Leveller. However, Leveller, I do ask you to be impartial with your reporting. There are always two sides of a story, and I think you need to be very careful what you're putting out there, especially for people that do distribute the lights, because you're putting them in a bit of danger, to be honest, if you're discrediting and calling far right and fascists. Very strong language, not helpful. But anyway, you can also find the Leveller online. There's a website called issue.com. Thank you for listening.